Hello and welcome to your match preview of England against Serbia on Sunday night. Don't worry, we're not both Scottish. There's an Englishman here as well. Gonzo, how are you feeling ahead of the game?
Looking forward to it. Yeah, undoubtedly. I don't look. They're going to be a tricky team. I think, like any England fan, we're going to be nervous after the Iceland performance, but I think there's a lot of hopes being pinned on. I think probably even Bellingham coming back. And I think a hope that quite possibly they might have shocked Gareth Southgate into something a little bit more positive, because it wasn't like we were unlucky to lose to Iceland. We didn't really threaten them too much. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, but I bet like a lot of England fans, I'm really nervous about it actually.
We're not going to go into too much detail about whether we think England will win the Euros or not. We've covered that in our Euro 24 preview. The link to that video is in the description below and it'll be on your end slate at the end of this one. I want to know the team that you would like to see face Serbia on Sunday, Gonzo. Not what you think Southgate will do, what you want to see. So
Okay.
take me through your goalkeeper and your defence, please.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised that you've asked that, but we'll go with it. I'm going to take Pickford in goal because I just think you do. I think there might have been a possibility where others have been able to push him in previous seasons, but I think I feel like a lot of the competition has probably fallen by the wayside this season. I think there might have been a case for picking some others, but I think it has to be Pickford. And let's not forget they have, for all their troubles, Everton had a mean ass defence this season. So yeah, there's that. I think you've got you've got to. Just about to say you've got to pick Kyle Walker. You don't have to pick Kyle Walker at all. Because there is choice at right back, but I still would. I think his pace is important. I think he's obviously captain at Man City as well, so that's an easy one. Centre backs, I would pick John Stones. I would, and I probably would go with Gahey next to him. It's quite funny, really, as an England fan. Maybe it's a bit suspicious of Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's not there, and you start to have a little worry about it. But yeah, quite possibly that one. I'm not sure what Luke Shaw's fitness status is. I do not like Kieran Trippier at left back because you see the same thing. It stops our attack from that side. He cuts in and he tries to cross with his right foot. It goes all side Benrahma on us basically. So yeah, I would obviously play Luke Shaw there. Midfield, obviously, Declan would go in there. Very tempted to play Wharton, actually, for his ball retention. I know a lot was made of it, and sometimes the media run wild with this stuff, but he's good. But then I think Mainoo's good as well. But Wharton did seem to look very, very special. Then we come to the tough decision. I think the really tough decision, the beautifully wonderful tough decision of what to do with Jude Bellingham. And the positionally, Real Madrid have thrown a bit of a spanner in the works because now they've have him playing in a position where you wouldn't even considered as an England fan. But I'm actually going to play him in midfield, in my midfield three, if you want. I'm going to do it that way, which leaves Harry Kane. You can't have a false number 9 when you've actually got a number 9 in Harry Kane there. Foden's got to play, which leaves one more. And obviously, look, there's a tendency just to say Jared Bowen. I'm not going to play Bowen. I don't think he's had an excellent season. I would use him off the bench, particularly if England are chasing the game, because I think he's no nonsense. I think he does things really, really quickly. I'm even tempted to say Eze, actually. Very tempted. But I'm not going to. I am actually going to. I'm probably going to go with Saka there because I just think he's such a good player. But, embarrassment of riches really for England. Could have picked any number of them.
If you don't want to know what a Scotsman thinks England should do, skip to the next couple of minutes, but I'm going to throw my 10 pence worth in for the sake of it. Anyway, I think Pickford's the obvious candidate in goal. There's no competition. Pickford's your keeper. I think for the group stages, I think what I think England should do for the group stage and the knockouts is slightly different. I think for this part of the tournament, I think it should be Walker right back, Stones and Gahey at centre back. And I'd go Gomez at left back. Luke Shaw's back in training now, but it's just a severe lack of game time. You'd want to get him some minutes. It's just, I think for this one, I maybe play it safe. And Gomez had a lot of time at left back for Liverpool, and he's coped really well. I agree with you about Kieran Trippier. I don't like him at left back. In midfield next to Declan, I'd put Alexander-Arnold in there. I think he's looked good in that position. I don't think it'll work for the entire tournament. I think if you were to be playing a France or a Germany, for example, I think I'd go with Wharton as well, because I think he's a sensational talent. But for this one, with all the emphasis on England, can you break Serbia down? And they've not got a great defence, Serbia. I think I'd go Alexander-Arnold in there. And I think, Saka on the right, Foden and Bellingham, I say Bellingham in the 10, Foden on the left if you want, but they'll move about, and then Kane up front picks himself as well. There is a doubt over John Stones, though. He's been quarantined in the England training camp because he's ill. So whether it's COVID or not, I don't know. But if he was missing, I think he'll be okay, because it was Wednesday he missed training. The game's on Sunday. I'd imagine he'll be fine. But if he was to miss out, who would you play next to, Gay?
I might actually be half tempted to move Walker in field, actually, to play him as a centre-back. I'm not overly impressed with the choices that England have got there. For all England's talent, we're not actually that blessed at centre-half. So I might be tempted to do that, actually. And just have outright pace, and then obviously you've got plenty of options to move in at right back. But then you got Gomez is a big option there as well. But there are options, but I wouldn't say England are blessed with them. John Stones would be a big miss because he's just such a talented player.
I disagree. I think England are blessed with options at centre back. I think Southgate's made a howler not taking Branthwaite. You speak about how Everton had the second best defence in the league last season. It wasn't just because of Pickford. It was also because of two people in front of him, in Tarkowski and Branthwaite, and he's taken neither of them. But I think, and this is obviously because I'm biased as being Scottish. I look at your centre backs. I think I would love to have just one of those, and I include the ones not even in England squad. Some of the ones that weren't even in contention for the England squad. I'd love to have somebody like that available for my team. Effectively, we're debating playing Scott McKenna, who wasn't good enough for Nottingham Forest. Or Liam Cooper of Leeds United. Who do we play? That's the level we're at. Porteous, Watford. Okay, which centre backs are we playing here? So I think you've got an abundance of talent. I just think Southgate's left a real easy decision out. I don't know why. If it was Stones, I'd go with Konsa next to Gay. It can't be Dunk. I think he's not even Brighton's best centre back, but the best one isn't English, though, so that's not really his fault. I just don't know why he's taken Dunk over Branthwaite. It did not make sense at the time, and it still doesn't make sense now. Now, before we move further on and talk about Serbia and how we see the game going on Sunday, just want to point in the direction of the video sponsors, Match Bingo. They're running for Euro 2024, and they'll be giving away £15,000 in cash prizes, kicking it off with Germany against Scotland, where everybody can get a free card. You can download the app. Please use a link in the description below of this video, because they know you come from Hammers Chat and we get credited with you downloaded it. You can download it for free. You can sign up for free. You do not need to deposit any money in order to get the game card for Scotland Germany. It's on the homepage. It says from free. Just click it. Click confirm purchase and you get your card. There's 15 things you need to happen in the game. You'll need, I'm doing a quick maths in my head now. You'll need 6 things Scotland, 6 things Germany, 3 things in the match itself. But they've increased your chances of winning at Euro 2024, because instead of needing, a yellow card in a minute with 9 in it, you'll need a yellow card in a minute with an 8 or a 9 in it. So they've doubled your chances of winning, essentially. So they will be giving away a lot of money. England, Serbia, it's £2 per card per play, but a maximum of 5 cards per person. Here's a gambling app. Please do gamble responsibly, 18 plus and over. We'll be doing a watch along on Sunday night as well. We'll be showing you what we've got on our cards and what we need to happen to win money in the England game. But Match Bingo adding a little excitement to your Euro 2024 game card, especially for those games that you may not have a vested interest in. A couple of weeks ago, before the season finished, one of our subscribers won 250 quid. I think it was Liverpool Aston Villa. It was a Monday night game. He bought a card for £2 and won £250 while watching a game that he didn't even support a team in. Thank you to Match Bingo for continuing the sponsorship with Hammers Chat. Right, moving on, Gonzo, to Serbia. Do you have any thoughts on Serbia?
Yeah, I think they've got good attacking players.
They do.
I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of their players. Obviously, Kostic, we know, because he was linked with us and obviously played for Frankfurt. They got the striker, Vlahovic, something like that. Arsenal really wanted him. Went to Juventus for big money, actually. And it seemed like everybody wanted him at one point. There was a point where it was either him or Erling Haaland who were going to be the next big things in terms of, in terms of strikers in Europe and future world-class players. And, I don't think he's quite reached that level. Mitrovic, of course, who obviously played for Fulham. So there are players, and if they've got some elder statesmen as well, who have been playing European game at a very, very high level for a long, long time. It almost feels like they've got more forwards than places available. They can't play they can't play Jovic as well. Maybe they can. Maybe I'm wrong. Are they going to play a front three in that sense? But a lot of their strikers seem very, very central. Imagine Mitrovic playing sort of left wing, do you, or something like that. So I think they're blessed with really good attacking players.
Yeah, can't really add too much to what Gonzo said. Plenty of names you'll recognise, like Gonzo Mitrovic, who scored 28 in 28 since moving away from Fulham. So he's bang in form, even though he's been playing over in Saudi Arabia. Vlahovic, as Gonzo's mentioned, as well as Tadic, who used to play for Southampton and moved to Ajax. So he's a bit of a veteran, but he's still producing the numbers. He'll be starting in the number 10 role for Serbia. Milinkovic-Savic as well, who more famously at Lazio has moved on now, but still a big household name in football. And two people that West Ham fans will be aware of, one of them being Jovic, who were linked to him when he was at Frankfurt, then he moved to Real Madrid, now at AC Milan, only got a handful of goals last season. And also Milinkovic, the defender, we were linked to plenty. The Fiorentina centre-back, we were linked to him
that's right,
loads, Nikola Milinkovic. So definitely names that West Ham fans will be familiar with, as well as just your average Premier League football fan as well. In qualifying, they got through the group relatively easy, scored plenty of goals, but also conceded plenty of goals as well. I watched an interview with Vidic, and he was basically saying the same thing, which is, attack, we're fine. Need sort of defence, but I'm sure the manager's got his eyes on that and working out something to do. I think when a legendary centre-back is suggesting that defence needs a bit of work, that indicates that the defence perhaps needs a bit of work. I'm willing to believe Vidic's opinion on defenders when it comes to professional football. In your group, Gonzo, you've also got Denmark and Slovenia. Who do you think is going through? As I always say, with you, I'm not going to add that arrogance. You can add that arrogance. Which two, possibly three teams do you think will qualify?
Well, these two. These two, basically. I can't really see too much past there, really. If England don't, then there would be, as I've heard it before, we've seen it all before, by the way, if you're a certain age, the root and branch inquiry by the FA. Boys and girls, we know that one, don't we? That'll happen. No doubt about it, because the players, as I mentioned, if you've gone and watched our Euro build-up, I do believe England have the second most talented crop of players in the tournament. The nervousness comes from the manager. It's an embarrassment of riches. It really is. That there are people in that squad excelling in almost every league in world football. A lot of the top leagues, and it's not a case of England just have to turn up. That's not the case. But as long as you have your tactics right and the messaging is right, then realistically England should be getting out of this group. And if they don't, then there's massive issues, and not actually with the structure of the football itself, because clearly the structure is producing skillful players who are thriving. But it doesn't seem to matter who is in charge at the FA. They do have an incredible ability to just have a complete blind spot when picking managers. And I mean, you mentioned it yourself, Geo, in the preview show for the Euros, and the Euros preview show, about man management and stuff like that. England have been very good at not picking good managers. The talent's there. The players are sharp. They're top players because they probably know their tactics. They can probably hear tactics, filter them, and implement them on the pitch very, very quickly. That's why they're the best players in the country. That there's not just their ability to kick a ball. They can be really switched on up there as well in terms of football tactics. And so then it is a case of galvanising the group and getting the best out of them. And you just can't quite shift that Southgate's got the handbrake on. He can't quite let that defender in him can't quite let it go.
Yeah, I think you'll get out of the group easy. To be honest with you, I mean, the fact that 66% of countries qualify for it's harder to go out than it is to go through. Which, like I said, I don't like it. I think you'll breeze through. I find it difficult to call between the other ones. I've seen a lot of people suggesting that Serbia will be the other one to go through. But I don't know. I think Denmark are okay on their day as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if three of yours go through. Maybe Slovenia are the ones that will struggle in that group. But when the draw was made, it goes one by one, and England come out, and then you saw the England group getting built. And obviously, I was watching us getting drawn against Hungary and Germany. I was like, oh God, can we just not have a slightly easier group like England have got? So I think you'll breeze through it. Are you confident for Sunday?
No. For all the reasons that I just said, it stops it, and he can win, right? Let me get this right. Southgate can win this tournament. He's gone close before, and defensive managers can win. Crikey, but I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it at West Ham. We've seen it, winning that Conference League. I know everyone's saying, Conference League not the same as the Euros. I get that, but then again, England have got far better players than West Ham had. So you can win it. You absolutely can win it. But I think the problem is, and I'll make the comparison with West Ham. We had a horrendous season defensively at West Ham because, by and large, the defenders weren't up for it. Even when Gerd was there, he wasn't there mentally. It was Angelo Ogbonna, bless him, was incredibly exposed in terms of his mobility. Not just, and I mean, even in terms of just be able to get his leg up high enough to make a clearance and stuff like that. Kurt Zuma was, on the cusp of breaking down all the time. And we had terrible defenders, really. Not all of them, I understand. Listen, I'm not saying all of them, but by and large, we were a lot of terrible defending going on. And you get targeted. And the thing is, I think, if we'd have allowed our attacking players a lot more of the ball, then it just keeps it away from us. And I would say the same with England. Not that we have terrible defenders, but our best players are Bellingham, Kane, Rice, Saka, they're Foden. If you were to write down a list of England's best players, you would go quite a long way down until you got to a defender. And even one of those you might say was Alexander Arnold. It's hard to even class him as one, really, such as his technical ability. If Southgate sits back in terms of defensive, he's asking basically his worst players to be in charge of the game. He needs to devise a system where his best players have it, and that's going to have to be on the front foot. And that's what makes me not that confident. As I said, I don't know how many shots we had against Iceland, but it wasn't many. There was a point watching it where I felt this is like West Ham. I was looking at it. I think it might have been the first half. We had one shot. I thought, this is familiar. Or one shot on target, whatever it was. But it was measly. It was poor. And that worries me, and it makes me not particularly confident, to be honest with you.
I refused. I didn't watch the friendlies. Scotland was on the exact same time as both of the England friendlies, but I don't read, even the Scotland ones, I don't read anything into them. I think they're there as a glorified training session for fitness, for having a look at certain players, rather than turning it on. And, I think to some extent, I think your main priority in a friendly is to come out of it with no injuries. I think that's actually the most important. I think that's bigger and more important than a win in some cases. But my point is that even though you played poorly in that, I didn't watch it. However, I'm taking it with a pinch of salt anyway. I think you'll be okay on Sunday. I think you'll concede. But with that much attack and talent, you don't need to be a tactical genius to get England to score a goal or two in the game when you've got players like that on the pitch. You don't. Pep said it recently, which is I just give my players instruction to get to the final third, then it's up to them. Carlo Ancelotti said the same thing, basically saying, I don't really give them, they just do what they want. And I think there's an element of that with England. You could always just let Foden and Bellingham do what they want, and you will score a few goals. Defensively, that's where you need your tactics and you need your structure. I think Serbia will score as well, though. So I'm going to say 2-1 to England. Can I get any final words from yourself, Gonzo, in your all-important score prediction?
Yeah,
please?
I mean, funny enough, I was going for the 2-1 or the 3-2 as well. I do think it'll be a tight game. I think ultimately England do have the quality to win it. I worry a little bit about Harry Kane. The pressure on him. I would have liked him to have won a trophy this season. It's sort of funny when he's at Tottenham. And then you get past that, and it's when you're an England fan, it's not so funny now because I need. It's like the James Ward-Prowse-itis, really, where it's that one more free kick and he gets the record, he equals the record, Beckham's record, and I've no doubt in my mind that it played on his mind all season. If there'd have been as I've said, if he'd have still been at Southampton and he'd only scored 8 free kicks rather than the 16 or whatever it might have been, it'd have curled one in, 1 or 2, maybe 2 or 3. Honestly, he really would have done. It's that mental block, and I hope that's not sort of playing on Harry Kane's mind. I would imagine I hope it doesn't, because there's a reason top players are top players, and as I mentioned earlier, it's not just because their ability to kick the ball. They are mentally strong. Everybody knows somebody that went for a trial, somebody that nearly made it in football, and that's because everybody wants to be a footballer. There's a reason the top guys make it, because they've got something else. They've got a level of determination, something above and beyond. And I hope he's got that. But that worries me a little bit as well. Hope we can somehow find some other leadership on the pitch, because I'm not a great fan of a centre forward being a captain either. I think in essence, I think Kane probably gets away with it, particularly when Maguire's there. So I think it's actually a really big opportunity for Declan to step up. I think this is really important for him. He's very vocal, Maguire. And I think he really has to step up and be that voice in the middle, Declan. This could be a really big tournament for him. And all West Ham stuff aside, I really hope he thrives. I really want to see him do well. And I think if they do make them in the midfield with him and Bellingham in, is utterly formidable. I really do believe that. And I know, you really have to start turning to France to see anything, remotely comparable to that. So he's got all the tools. If he wants dribblers, they're in there. They're the best of them are in there for England. If he wants long-range passers, I mean, is there a better long-range passer than Trent Alexander-Arnold? There can't be many. Tacklers, driving the ball forward, finishers, every quality that you would need as a football manager, be it heading, long shots, short shots, dribbling, it's all there. It's all there. He has 10 out of 10s covered in everything. Do we have a 10 out of 10 dribbler? Yes. Long shooter? Yes. He's got it all there. He's just got to piece it all together. But I think but I'm still going for a narrow win, because Southgate makes me nervous.
Anyway, we are covering the Euros here on Hammers Chat, as well as all the latest news and gossip around West Ham. We've done a preview for the Scotland-Germany game. We've also done a Euro 24 preview. Both things are already on the channel. So please do get involved. We'll be live at 7:30 on Sunday evening. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff for England. We'll be kicking off here at 7:30 with our build-up show and watch along. So please do come along and join us. But if you enjoyed this preview, please drop a like on it by clicking thumbs up. Subscribe to Hammers Chat. Myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.